Make sure to like and subscribe.
Mhm.
Yeah, one other question on the offensive side of the ball. Do you think Colorado will finally have a consistent running game? I think they're ranked like 104 in
Yes.
rushing. So I wanted to say, got to run the ball. It can't be one-dimensional.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so thankful to have Brendan Marion here, because he's just going to provide balance to this offense and an appreciation for the run game. It's so everything that he does with this go-go offense is predicated off the run, and I think what's exciting is that he has the chance now to elevate the offense or evolve it a little bit, because he hasn't had a quarterback with this sort of arm talent, with these sorts of receivers in his offense consistently. So I think that you're going to see a dangerous offense this year, but it's all predicated on the run, man. Like, I again, you don't bring in all these guys and not throw the ball to them. No, we're still going to spread the ball around. We're still going to rip it, especially in the Big 12. But yeah, my hope is that, hey, at least can we be an average team when it comes to rushing in the Big 12? If we're there, that's going to give us an opportunity to do some real special things.
Yeah, completely agree. That'd be interesting to see. And then on the defensive side of the ball, what are maybe some positives and negatives coming into it? What you're focused on or worried about?
Well, negatives, I would really just say the loss of Tawfiq Bayard kind of sucks, especially with him going to Texas A&M. He was one of like our standout players on a defense that really struggled last year, but we did replace him with a Vanderbilt captain, Randon Fontenette, who's coming out from, again, a lot of success in the SEC. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at that safety position. But man, I really love our starting corners right now. Cree Thomas transferred out from Notre Dame after his true freshman season, and he's filled with talent. I remember some friends that are Notre Dame fans, they said, hey, we got DJ McKinney, but y'all got Cree Thomas, who's going to be like a starter immediately for y'all. And that's exactly what he's developed into since he's been here this spring. And a big, lengthy, physical corner with ball skills. I believe he was a 4-star guy coming out of high school. And then a slept-on one that I don't really feel like people are talking about as much is Boo Carter, who had a great true freshman season at Tennessee. And then, I don't know, he was definitely in need of a change of scenery from Tennessee last year. I think he might have there was some sort of like team discipline when it came to him.
Yeah.
And Tennessee was kind of using him like exclusively as like a slot corner or like nickel back type player. He's going to play the outside here at different points. And so he's athletic enough to do it. So when you look at our duo of starting outside corners, you got guys that aren't going to shy away from run support, that do have ball skills. And specifically with Boo Carter, I expect to see him in the return game. I expect to see him, playing the slot at certain points, but also being a lockdown on the outside. I'm really, really excited for Boo Carter.
Yeah, he was highly recruited coming into Tennessee. Big name last year, like you said, just maybe had some issues. But yeah, I think that was definitely a good pickup in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do want to ask, going back to Coach Prime, because he's such a face of the program, in your estimation, maybe how many more years or what's the future for Deion at Colorado? And do you think he's kind of just looking for the next option, NFL, maybe SEC type role or another big conference? What's your thoughts?
Nah, I think it's going to be hard to beat what he has here at CU. Again, he runs the program here. He has the keys to the car. He's able to do things with his brand in the way that he wants it that I don't think he would necessarily get at other schools where boosters might have more sway in the program's decision making. But I've always felt like it was a perfect fit for Prime to be here. So I'm expecting him to be here at least through the length of his contract. I don't know if he'll be a coaching lifer, coaching into his, late 60s or 70s. We'll see what happens. But I think as long as he's like a college coach, he's going to be doing it here at CU. And in terms of NFL stuff, no. Again, the style of head coach that he is, where his strengths are, recruiting, promoting the program, creating all of that energy, the vision, the charisma, all those sorts of things, I feel like play a lot better in college football. Usually you got to be an X's and O's, play caller, I feel like, to get your shot in the NFL. And I just don't see him being somebody that's okay with his job being on the line, from these owners every single year, and where you're just recycled as a head coach, unless you're, just a few head coaches that aren't fired or recycled, every 3 to 4 years. Deion Sanders is above that. He doesn't need to deal with that. So I think we're going to see a bounce back year here from the program. And then, some of those things I think will speak for themselves over time. But I think initially, man, everybody's saying, well, he's just going to be here for 2 years to see his kids go to the NFL, man. No, this, again, if you follow Colorado, if you went to school there like I did, or in the area, like you understand more so than maybe the casual fan or the national media analyst, of just like how natural of a fit it was to have him here. So, I see him just being a Buffs coach, man. It's hard for me to see him coaching anywhere else, the Power 4 level. We'll see.
And when's his contract in, by the way? You mentioned his contract earlier.
4 years.
So he's got 4 more. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can definitely build a lot more in four more years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, there is some like debate. Hey, maybe he's grooming Brendan Marion to eventually take over. That could happen. If for some reason this year, we go 3-9 again, yeah, maybe he just moves on. I just don't see that in the cards right now. I think that this is a bowl team, and I'm just praying to God we get our first bowl win since 2004. Please, God.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's all I
Didn't
want.
know that. Gotcha. Tough stretch there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did want to briefly look at the schedule and maybe give me a record prediction, or if you do that as it gets closer. Yeah, always like to do this, do a little preview.
Yeah, I think this is great. Yeah, I will say, Trey, for some reason, I just always find the same prediction every year I'm on this channel. So this is my 4th straight year of predicting 8-4 for the Buffs.
Okay, I like it.
But I do think that, hey, if we can start out beating Georgia Tech, that will go to show that we can be in every game moving forward. So
they lost a lot, even though I'm not a Brent Key fan, just because he talks bad about Georgia, but losing I forgot his name.
Well, they lost both of their coordinators, didn't they?
They did, and they lost their backup quarterback, Aaron Philo.
Mm-hmm.
And then Haynes King went to Carolina Panthers here in Charlotte. So they're in rebuild mode. So I don't know what they have, actually.
Yeah. Julian Lewis has more starting experience than Alberto Mendoza does right now. So I think that, Georgia Tech's going to be favored going into this game. I think they can handle it. But, yeah, I got them at 8-4. I think that you can find 6 wins on this schedule. Again, a lot of people will say, well, hey, there's a lot of the top teams in the Big 12 from last year. Again, we just see, man, there's so much parity in this conference. It's just really hard to gauge what every team is going to be every single year. I think, again, in this team, it just feels a lot like 2024, like the cohesiveness of the team, the direction. But a lot of people are saying, hey, Colorado is one of the hardest Big 12 schedules coming into 2024. And that's not really how it all turned out. And we ended up going 9-3 that year. So we'll see what happens. Again, that's my prediction. Maybe that's with some gold colored glasses on. But this is what I'll say. You hit 6 wins, you get a bowl victory. That's an A+ season for me.
I like it. I like that. Any chance of maybe things go right, find a good quarterback, maybe creeping in the top 25? Any chance
Dude,
on that, maybe?
of course,
Yeah.
it can happen. You know, if Julian Lewis is able to get off to a fast start here, you know, it's not that he's Caleb Williams, but I mean, Caleb Williams probably should have been the starter that entire year, his first year at Oklahoma in retrospect. So if he can come and get out to a fast start in this offense, I think that, you know, he's got the support system around him that Shador never had. I think he's got, again, a coordinator who is a good fit for what he wants to do. And you got a defense, I think, that's prioritizing athleticism. We haven't necessarily done that. So I think that he won't have to do everything by himself. But I do think the Buffs will go as he goes. You know, if he goes out and performs really well, I think we could be a dark horse contender for the conference title for sure.
I like it. Be good to see. And then maybe for Colorado Buffalo fans who are in the Big 12, what are some dark horse or underrated players that you think will stand out for Buffalo?
For the Colorado Buffaloes, you need to keep an eye on Danny Scudero, who we brought in from San Jose State. He was a semifinalist for the Biletnikoff Award last year. Almost had 1,300 yards at San Jose State. He's going to be a guy that I'm expecting to go over 1,000 yards this year. No doubt about it. Another linebacker that you need to keep an eye on, or not another, one linebacker you need to keep an eye on is transfer from Bowling Green, Gideon ESPN Lamprin. His middle name is ESPN. Awesome. Funny, that was his dad's second choice for his middle name. His first choice was Larry Bird. Just an interesting guy. But he was like an all-conference guy there at Bowling Green. And he told Coach Prime on an airplane to Ohio to watch Shador play, hey, I wanna be a Buff, and that's how that whole thing happened. And I'm very excited to see him play. In terms of another guy to keep an eye on from the SEC that transferred out here was running back Richard Young, who was a blue chip guy a few years ago and was the starter for Alabama coming into the season last year, but got hurt in the first game. And you didn't really see much of him since. So he's got the opportunity to earn this starting position for the Buffs, and very well could be our best running back this year. But keep an eye on Gideon ESPN. I like that guy. And then one more for you. I love to talk about special teams. Keep an eye on our punter, Damon Greaves from Australia. He's going to be on NFL radars this year. He's very, very good. And so, he's kicking at altitude for half his game. So he was like our MVP last year. Hopefully he's not our MVP this year, because that means we're winning games. But we do have a guy that at the very least should be in NFL camps next year at the punter position.
Yeah, those Aussie kickers are great. We had one, Thorson, last year. He made it in the league too. He was great.
Great.
Clutch. I think he won the Ray Guy Award, I believe.
Oh, that's awesome. That would be sick if Damon Greaves can do it. We'll have to see.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you again, David. How do we follow you on social media?
Absolutely. Thanks again for having me on. Yeah, go subscribe, David Talks Buffs. What are you doing now? 15.5 thousand subscribers. I usually post a video a day about the Buffs. Subscribe, come in every now and then. We do have a good base of Georgia subscribers. So, hey, if you need a second team, if you need a Big 12 team, we welcome you. We welcome you, Georgia fans.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're not Ole Miss fans. Y'all been stealing our recruits too much. So
exactly. As we call them around here, we call them Ole Piss.
Oh, man, I love that. Yeah. Forget Ole Piss and LSU. Those are my hate watches this year, aside from Texas Tech.
I think it's week 3 or week 4 when LSU goes to the Grove night game. Much watch TV, man. Get the security guards out for Lane Kiffin. Pitchforks are coming. Can't wait.
Oh man, let's go! I can't wait for that either, man. But thanks again for having me on, Trey. Really do appreciate it, and let's be sure to talk again.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on, David. Also check him out on Facebook and other social media. He's got a good following on there. And make sure to like, subscribe, share the Doghouse podcast. We got some great guests coming up.